What's up guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we're taking a closer look at the Rugged Ridge flush mount LED taillights with the black housing and the red lens, fitting all 2020 and newer JT Gladiators with the factory halogen taillights. Now, if you're a fan of that old school off-road taillight vibe, but you want an easy and more modern way to achieve that, this set will be right up your alley. Now, not only will these be great for simply that rugged Jeep styling, but if you're taking your JT off-road, no matter if you're crawling, overlanding, or really wherever you're going, these are going to minimize the chance of trail damage just because they are flush to the back of the Gladiator. Now, compared to the factory halogen lights, this set is not going to be anything like it, which is a great thing thanks to the oval stack of LEDs right in the center and the subtle LED marker light over on this side. Now, those LEDs are going to be a huge improvement for some better lighting performance, making other drivers much more aware of you when you're driving around on the street, and the backup lighting is going to help when it comes to reversing at night, giving you some better visibility and clearer visibility out of the back of your truck. Now, the other big takeaway that I mentioned from this set is that these are going to be incredibly low profile, basically flush with the back of the Jeep, which will give you some extra maneuverability out on the trail without having to worry about busting up a light if whatever obstacle goes sideways. Not to mention, these are going to add a lot of that off-road and more rugged styling and will match with any other heavy-duty accessories that you have mounted up. This set will be made of a molded ABS thermoplastic construction, which honestly is perfect for this housing application, considering that it's rigid, the molding will fit incredibly well, and the ABS is going to be very resilient even if you do take a hit on or off-road. Now, the ABS here is also completely paintable, so with the right prep, you have the option to leave it like this, being contrasted with that matte black look, or match it to your specific color code. Now, on the inside, these lights are going to have high intensity LEDs, which won't just be great for a big boost in lighting, but they're also much more efficient, which will allow you to drastically cut down your maintenance considering the absurdly long lifespan of a low energy drawing LED. Now, although these will have a super custom look, they're not going to require any custom work or modification or drilling in order to be installed. They are separated right out of the box, but all of these wiring harnesses are plug and play, and it comes with everything that you need out of the kit for no questions asked when it comes to the install. Now, this kit will come in at around $350, which is relatively average for a set of taillights. Now, when putting this up against other options in the category, this is really going to stand out with not only the flush build, but with that old school, rugged, small light in the middle look compared to other larger and more 3D choices. Now, I also love that this set will offer that look while doing it super cleanly with the outer housing fitting perfectly into the factory mounting locations, making it a great choice if you want to set your Jeep apart from the rest with a sharp and unique appearance. Now, install will be plug and play. Everything is separate, and it's going to come with these little connectors, which may seem intimidating, but it's going to be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and take you about 2 hours to get the job done. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we got it done sooner. Now, at this point, we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how to get these onto your JT at home. So that is going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet and an 8mm socket.
What's up guys? Today we're installing a set of taillights on our Gladiator, so let's get started. So to remove our taillights, we have 2 8mm screws that we can grab an 8mm socket to remove, and then we'll just pull our taillight out and disconnect our connector. And now we can pull back on that red tab, push in the black, and disconnect our connector, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Now, before we install our new taillights onto the truck, we're gonna have to assemble them. We have our brake and reverse light here, as well as our marker light that we're gonna be sliding in, and then we can set up our wiring. So first we'll install our marker light. So we need to pull back the trim, and then we can feed our wires through the hole. Slide our trim into place, and then we'll push our light in on top of that. Now for our main brake light, we're going to take our harness with the 3 connectors that match these 3 and slide that in. And then similar to the marker light, we're gonna pop this out. We're gonna slide all of our wires through the front here. Slide the grommet for our light into place first. And then we can slide our light in and press it into place. And then we can flip this over. We'll pull out the 3 wires for our marker light and match them up to the 3 same colored wires. So we're gonna have the white going to the white. And then we'll get red to red. And then black to black. And now we'll grab the yellow wire off of our brake light and connect that to our yellow. And then we can do the same thing for our other taillight and get these on the truck. So now we're ready to get our taillight installed. So we're gonna plug in the connector and then press down on this red tab to lock it in. And then we can get our light slid into place. And then we'll reinstall our 2 screws. So now we'll thread those 2 screws into place. And then take our 8mm socket and tighten them down. And then you can do that same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Rugged Ridge flush mount LED taillights with black housing and red lens for your 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator JT with factory halogen taillights. Thank you for watching, and for all things Gladiator, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.